Hey, good morning, friends. Today is Monday, April the 14th, 2025, and the time now is 10:58 a.m. So, friends, I want to talk briefly about the situation in the Congo regarding the release of the three Americans, okay, the young Americans who a couple of months ago went into the Congo to take part in a coup, a failed coup, and they were all arrested and they went through the court system, the trial system, and they were found guilty. They were supposed to have given the death penalty. I did a video about them a couple of months ago in which I stated that there was a possibility that Joe Biden would have tried to get them released as a means to make Donald Trump look bad, to have a rallying cry during the election last November, or that perhaps Joe Biden would have worked with the Congo, the D.R.C. Congo, to basically secure their safety, to make sure they are not executed, so that after the election, they can be brought home. Now, it seems that none of those work. Now, just last week, the end of last week, news came out that the guys are going to be let go. They're going to be free in the Congo. Basically, as the news said, they are supposed to be returning to the United States where they are supposed to be facing new charges and they are supposed to be tried in the United States, which I do believe is basically bogus. It's just foolishness. Now, it is very interesting. One thing that I ask myself, why is it that you have three foreigners, whether they are from heaven, the United States, or from you know where, going to Africa to engage in things such as Coup, which could have destabilized a destabilized country and further destabilized a region, and they are getting away with it? Had those three boys been Africans, black Africans, in the United States carrying out a coup, trying to assassinate the president or to do whatever in the United States, they would have been killed. They would have been executed. In the United States, black people are shot at just for being black. Black people are basically humiliated just for being black, let alone trying to carry out a coup in the United States. It shows the imbalance in terms of the relations between or relationship between Africa, the United States or African countries, and the United States and the West. The fact that Americans can commit such a crime in Africa and get away with it. But that is not the point. The point here is it is said that in addition to their release, Congo and the United States, Donald Trump, are supposed to be in a discussion about minerals, okay? Natural resources. My hope here is that Congo be very careful because Donald Trump is showing to the world and to Africa and to everybody that he is racist. Donald Trump is trying to go at China in Africa, and Congo must be very careful to not let the United States in its business. And hopefully, Congo doesn't allow the United States to establish military bases or base in the Congo. The last time white men have their army in Africa, once again, we were called niggers and we were fighting for our freedom. So Congo has to be very, very, very careful. Congo knew and they still know what King Leopold did to them. And they have to be very, very, very careful. But I want to ask, I am very concerned. I don't know what is the deal that both Congo and Donald Trump are making or that they are signing that are leading to the release of these three men. Because they committed crime in the Congo, they carried out a coup in the Congo. And it is interesting that the same president who was in power during the coup is now letting them go. So my question is, what deal is the Congo making, the D.R.C. Congo making with the United States and Donald Trump that leads to those young men to be released? I have said many times that when Donald Trump came out with his travel ban, which I will say is a ban against Africa or Africans, on a list of about 43 or so countries. Half of these countries that Trump is supposed to be imposing travel ban on are African countries. And Congo is on that list. The D.R.C. Congo is on that list. So is it that the release of these young men, is it a strategy by Donald Trump by using the travel ban, as I've said many times, and now the tariff? Is it possible that Donald Trump is doing this to make Congo, in this case, to capitulate? Because one is that you place Congo on a travel ban list, which, just like other African countries and many countries in the world, their expats in the United States working and living contribute to their economies. So by you imposing travel ban on Congo, you basically plummet Congo's economy. You attack Congo's economy. Also, by you imposing tariff on Congo, you hurt Congo's economy as well. So is this the case? Can we say that the travel ban and the tariff on the Congo is Trump's strategy to, one, secure the release of those men, but also as a means to get access to Congo's raw materials, to force Congo to capitulate in many ways? And this is one of the reasons why I'm going to continue to call for African unification, because one country, the individual countries, cannot go at it by themselves. Now, they are saying that these young men, these Americans, are going to be facing trial, okay, or charges in the United States. It is nothing but bullshit. To be honest, they are not going to try these guys for a crime they commit somewhere else, in Africa for that matter. These young men are going to come to the United States. Donald Trump is going to get the glory. He is going to brag to the rest of the world and to America and to the Trumpers that he is a deal maker. And then these young men are going to be let free. Now, friends, to be honest, in terms of Donald Trump, whether we like it or not, the release of these young men, these Americans in the D.R.C. Congo, who carried out a failed coup a couple of months ago for Donald Trump, it is a victory. He gets to brag to the United States, to the Trumpers, to everyone around the world that he is a deal maker. But once again, I'm going to say, I do believe that these young men are not going to be facing any charges in the United States. Anything said to them is going to be bogus. They are going to be let free. But as an African, I want to ask, what negotiation is being made? What deals are being made between Congo and the United States that are leading to the release of these three Americans who carried out a failed coup in the Congo? What is Congo giving to the United States and Donald Trump? And what is Congo getting back from the United States and Donald Trump? I'm going to speculate that Congo is not getting anything. Congo is going to get a talk. Congo is going to get its minerals being taken by the United States. The young men are going to return home to the United States, and Trump is going to brag. And the situation is going to continue. The disrespect of the Congo, the disrespect of the Africans, and the rest of the world is going to continue. Just about a couple of days ago, Trump stated that there are many countries, governments that have been reaching out to the Trump administration officials to make deal. And he stated explicitly in a speech at an event that world leaders are calling him to kiss his ass. That is very interesting, but it is showing explicitly the way Donald Trump thinks of the rest of the world and of leaders around the world. Saying such a thing in such explicit manner as the rest of the world, foreign leaders are calling you to kiss your ass. It is a bad politics and it is bad diplomacy for the United States, which in this case I think could backfire against Donald Trump and the United States. As much as countries may be weak and powerless and hungry, the truth here is no leader wants to be the ass kisser, and no people around the world want to see their leader kissing the ass of another country or of another leader. So even the weakest countries in the world may be forced, or leaders in the world, the weakest leaders in the world, or leaders from the weakest countries in the world, may be forced to act strong as a means to checkmate Donald Trump. In this case, everything Donald Trump has been saying may backfire against him. Now, friends, please help me ask the people of Congo, the government of Congo, what is Congo getting from the deal with the United States that is leading to the release of the men, the Americans who carried out a failed coup in the Congo? What is Congo getting? What is the United States getting from the Congo, the D.R.C. Congo, in addition to securing the release of these men? Please, friends, help me once again ask these questions. Now, my friends, please tell me what you think, and I really want to know what you think. But friends, I'm going to end here. I want to thank you for being a member of the Echoing Voice community, my friends, but most especially and most importantly, friends, I want to thank you a lot for watching the Echoing Voice. Peace.